Alright guys, so today's video is on a pair of true wireless earbuds that it was actually hard to do a video on. And that's mainly because when I cover a pair of earbuds, I look for that one unique feature or something that just really makes it stand out. And from a visual standpoint and a feature standpoint, there's not really much to make this pair stand out, because really what this pair is focused on is the audio quality. And that's just something that I look for in a pair of earbuds anyway. So it is exciting for me to talk about this pair, which is the Mackie MP20 TWS. It is a pair that comes in at $149. And I will easily say that this is one of the best sounding earbuds out there. But we'll talk about the sound in a little bit. We're going to talk about the features or lack of features. We'll talk about the packaging, which is another thing that just isn't appealing. It's not something that stands out. And it's from a company, which if you're not familiar with Mackie, they're known for making studio monitors and mixers and audio interfaces and things like that. So they do know what they're doing when it comes to audio quality. It's just not a very marketable pair of earbuds because it focuses on something that really should be the most important thing, but usually isn't when it comes for people looking for earbuds. Now, as far as the audio, they are using dual drivers. In fact, they have a custom 10mm dynamic driver mixed with a Knowles balanced armature driver, which essentially is separating the bass from the mids and the highs. It allows to focus on each different frequency and not feel like it's getting drowned out. But we'll talk about that once we get to the sound. Now, like I said, the packaging is not really flashy. This pair does not have app support, so there's no EQ options you can switch between. It does have hybrid active noise canceling, but the noise canceling, in my opinion, is pretty non-existent. I mean, it can kind of dull out some lower tones, but if people are around you and they're talking, it essentially, to me, just sounds like you have another pair of earbuds in your ears that doesn't have noise canceling. It really is just kind of blocking it out because the ear tips are blocking your ear canals. And speaking of the ear tips, it does come with 3 sets. You have your small, medium, and large. And it also comes with a USB-C cable, which you are going to have to use because this pair does not have wireless charging. So again, I know at this point it probably doesn't sound appealing, but I promise you, you want to stay around to when I talk about the sound. This is what makes this pair stand out, and it kind of has to. I mean, this pair does retail for $149, and we have seen some really impressive pairs for under $100, even sitting at around $50. So it has to have something to kind of separate it from the other earbuds. But back to kind of speaking about the noise canceling, although I don't think it does that great of a job, this pair does have a wind reduction mode that if you're going to be outdoors on a windy day or riding a bike or running, it keeps the wind from affecting your audio, which is a huge plus for those that use their earbuds outdoors. Now, as far as any kind of technology in these, it does have Bluetooth 5.2, and there's no high-end Bluetooth codec playback here either. It's AAC and SBC, which is kind of like your standard Bluetooth codecs. But luckily, I didn't notice any compression in my audio. Also, while testing these with different types of media, I didn't have any lag when it came to movies or videos. There is a slight lag when it comes to gaming. Now, if you are going to use these outdoors, they do come in with an IPX4 rating, which really just means you're fine if you sweat heavily or if it's raining and you're outdoors or if they get splashed on if you're by the pool, but you do not want to submerge this pair into water. Now, moving over to looking at the actual case and the earbuds themselves, again, nothing flashy here. The case is actually fairly large. On the back, you can see the USB-C input and then the pairing button. And then around on the front, you have 4 indicator lights. And this is how you gauge how much battery life is left on the case. Now, when you move over to looking at the earbuds, if any of you guys are familiar with like the Lippertech earbuds we've checked out in the past, that's kind of what these remind me of. They fit in my ear canal perfectly. There's not a lot that actually they're trying to cram into there, which means that the body on the outside is a little bit larger because it's housing all of it right there on the outside. But again, it is comfortable, it's balanced well, it's not one of those that's trying to move out or shake around if you move your head. Now, these earbuds do use touch controls, and I am happy to say that they give you control over everything out of the box. You have your play, your pause, your ability to skip your tracks forward, go backwards, you have volume control, and then you have the ability to switch it between noise canceling on or your wind reduction mode, or you just turn those features off altogether. And that does affect the battery life on this pair, which the battery life is really impressive on this pair. Now, if you just use them with the noise canceling off, you can actually get 13 hours out of the earbuds, and you get an additional 40 hours out of the case. But if you use them with the noise canceling on, that's going to pull it back to about 10 hours on the earbuds. And then it's going to pull it back to getting about an additional 30 hours using the case. But if you are going to use these earbuds for taking phone calls, one really impressive feature about these is it's using 3 Knowles Sysonic mics for phone calls. And these microphones are doing an excellent job of focusing in on my voice. And if I was in a noisy environment, it blocked out a lot of that around me. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here is the mic test using the Mackie MP20s. Like I said, I feel like it picks up my voice very cleanly. There is a slight amount of digital noise, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is the mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound. And again, this is the main selling point on this pair of earbuds. You can tell that there was a lot of time spent on tuning these. They are really trying to get the most out of the bass, out of the mids, and out of the treble, and it never crosses paths. It never makes it sound muddy. It never makes it sound congested. The bass has a lot of punch to it, but there is a lot of space. It's not right up front. It's not aggressive. It doesn't sound like it's trying to overpower anything else. And the treble on this pair, some people might find it to be kind of harsh. I mean, it is very bright. It is very detailed, which I'm a huge fan of. But I think because the bass has the impact that it does and the treble sounds as bright as it does, it just sounds really well balanced together, but pushed up about as high as they can get it. But the mids, I feel like, is the star of the show with these. The vocalists sound some of the best that I've heard on any pair of earbuds. I could be a male, female vocalist. I'm hearing subtle characteristics in their voice that just sound so detailed. Even genres like metal, where there's just so much going on, the singer always sounds up front. It just sounds like they have this presence that you usually don't get in a pair of earbuds. You usually find it in IEMs and definitely in higher end headphones. So again, this kind of goes back to Mackie's sound signature in general, because I'm very familiar with some of their headphones, definitely familiar with their monitors, and these fit right in line with the sound that they're usually trying to bring. Now, when it comes to the sound stage and the sound imaging, because the bass has that amount of space, it is a very open sounding earbud. It sounds really spacious. It's a lot like Sennheiser's Momentum earbuds, and being able to tell where sounds are coming from, this pair handles with no problem. So really my overall opinion is this. This pair of earbuds is from a company that is solely focused on audio quality. So they definitely kind of missed out when it comes to features. I mean, they do have active noise canceling on this pair, but to me, it's non-existent. There's no wireless charging, which a lot of people are going to be looking for. There's no app to be able to switch it to different EQ settings. I mean, you just get them the way that they sound out of the box. But this is where I think this pair is worth it, because the sound that these have, other pairs of earbuds will have a hard time matching. I mean, it is a loud pair of earbuds. It doesn't distort when it comes to the bass. It is very detailed. The mids, the vocalists, just they're right up front. There's so much characteristic in this pair of earbuds that I actually think $150 is an excellent value on these. I mean, if audio quality is your main focus on buying a pair of earbuds, that's the category that I fall into, this one checks all of those boxes, and it makes listening to music actually just fun. It is very fun, and you're hearing a lot of subtle things that you're not going to hear in other earbuds that's kind of just listening to music as a background thing. So yes, I highly recommend them if you are looking on audio quality alone. The battery life, you could listen to music all day, and I was very impressed because, again, because of the packaging, because of the look of the earbuds and the case, I wasn't expecting to like these as much as I did. But guys, that's my video on the Mackie MP20 TWS. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.